About the journey. I said you didn't start off with this like perfect idea for the Thess bar. You kind of wandered your way into it. So tell us a little bit about, obviously, you did grow up here. So tell us about growing. Oh yeah.
Chocolate. It's chocolate peanut
If you're allergic to
flavor.
peanuts,
Yeah.
careful.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So let me start basically my background. I grew up my parents immigrated here into San Francisco. And being Asian, I mean, there's education is really important. So my main focus early on was getting into Berkeley, being a pre-med, being a doctor, but didn't but the Lord had other plans. I didn't get a med school. So I met a professor who was doing some amazing research on the next generation protein for third world country, wing bean. And I thought, well, that's kind of cool, getting involved with solving world hunger. So I got into that and shortly, got a graduate degree in food science. I didn't know what that food science is all about, but I discovered this whole industry of food where you actually get paid to eat food and play with food. So I got into that. So a good part of my background was working with food organization. Basically, my job was to create food that's convenient, tastes great, looks great over extended period. And so was that. That's the first half of my career. The second half, I had the opportunity to work for Nature Made, and there I was creating supplements to nourish people for health and well-being. And now I have the opportunity to combine both, creating great tasting product that nourishes the body together. And how that all came about was, I don't know what the next slide is. Yeah, so that's my background, work with a number of companies. And, 5 years ago, I was in my office, things were really good. Great career, great title, everything's working really smooth. And yet there was an itch, like there's something more I can do. There's a higher purpose than creating products for profitability, being in a corporate setting. And I kind of prayed about that, like, Lord, I know you got a higher purpose for me. What would that look like? Well, the next thing you know, I was laid off. Unexpected. After 17 years in a
Perfect.
Japanese food company,
Answered prayer.
I was laid off. And that really gave me a opportunity to be still, to really think about what's my next step. What is my higher purpose? What am I designed to do? And through a tiny voice in my, sometimes in your head's like, oh, you got to do this and you got to look like this and you got to compare with so and so. And but the quiet whisper, that inner voice, like, Jones, just nourish the impoverished. And that set me a course for social impact. And how ThesBar came about during that journey, I had some amazing opportunity to work with partners in third world countries, in Uganda, Ethiopia, even as Afghanistan, to develop food solutions specific for that area of need. And one day I was in San Francisco at a stoplight. It was drizzling. I could remember really clear. It was drizzling, it was cold. And this emaciated woman was pushing a cart, coming towards me, looking for handouts. I looked at her and I was like, poor lady, I should do something. But as she got closer, I didn't know really what to do, what to give. Should I give money? But then I hear that they use it for drugs. That's not good. So what should I really give? And I was so confused. I really didn't know what to do. So I did the thing that really came naturally. I looked away. I totally ignored her. She walked me by, and later on, that really didn't sit right. It inherently, it feels like I really didn't honor that person. I didn't recognize that person. I didn't recognize that she had inherent worth and dignity. I dismissed her. I dismissed her. And that really didn't sit right. That really didn't sit right with me. And Let's set the course of what should I develop so that next time it doesn't happen. And that's how ThesBar came about, was designing something that's portable, something that's nutritious, something packed with nutrients, and yet something that has a reminder that, hey, you are valued, you are loved, you have purpose, and you have refuge. Um, so that was the whole how this whole thing came about. And as I was doing more research, I found out that, oh my gosh, in this great nation, there's 44 million people that are food insecure. Not only are they really hungry, but yet food insecurity really mean providing, filling that gap with food that are nutritious. Not just food, not just any food to fill the belly, but food that are nutritious, and that's defined by the FDA. I also realized that, you know, a lot of our unhoused friends only get 1.5 meals a day, and 10% of the time they go through garbage cans to look for food. That shouldn't be right. I mean, they struggle with a lot of things. And again, having access to basic nutrition should not be one of them. So this is why we created the ThesBar, is that it's packed with nutrients so that, you know, when you're, next slide, when you're really low in nutrients, you know, you can't think straight. You get sick all the time. You're chronically fatigued. You're miserable. Your gut, you know, is, you have diarrhea. You're bloated. You don't feel right. You have swollen feet. You have dermatitis and you're itching all over the place. How can you be productive when you struggle with all that? But yet, pennies a day of basic vitamins and minerals, it alleviate all that, just penny a day. So we designed it so that it really hit three areas, providing a holistic way to address nutrition, having protein, 20 vitamins and minerals. And this Wellmune here, down here, is really a clinically proven ingredient from yeast extract shown to boost immunity, energy, and mental clarity under stress. We had amazing partnership with the ingredient house, a kind of a $9 billion nutritional house that's sponsoring this ingredients in the bar because they believe in what we do. And it's meant for athletes, but yeah, what a great application. Who is ever more stressed than some our unhoused friends, right? So the next thing that we want to do is, you know, recognize that there are value. So when you scan on the QR code, when you click on the QR code, and I learned that 80% of the unhoused have a smartphone. So when you scan on the QR code, there's affirming messages of hope, even 90-second gospel, that speaks into our lives like, hey, you have purpose, man. And
And it also connects people. They have the opportunity to register and get connected with
that's right.
individuals as
That's
well,
right.
right?
And so in that, there's also, you know, when you scan it, there's resources that it can contact, health clinic, shelters where to get the next meal. And also there's a secret form where they fill out, it gets routed through a platform, it gets routed to their local church, and someone from the local church then would connect back with them. So it's a means of connecting people. It's a means of, you know, giving them renewal spiritually, as well as nourishing them. So I have a video that kind of give you a flavor of this one here. This is one of several videos that we're hoping that remind them that you do have value.
I'm going to play it here.
Yep, that's.
It's very important.
Okay, we can play that first, if you like.
You want to do the other one?
Oh, no, if you could hit that, we could turn it louder.
We're just getting this sound set up. Sorry about
So that video of you value is a beautiful video where it's like, you know, the value of a dollar bill, no matter what you do to it, you tear it up, you throw in the garbage
The
can,
people to get
you know, it still maintain the value of a dollar bill. And we want to just speak into their lives.
Which one do you want first?
And let's go with your value. So when you scan on the QR code, that's one of the messages you see.
So you're valued. Here we go.
Let me speak to that person that feels like they lost their worth and their value. This is a dollar bill. Now, if I go to the store and there's something for 90 cents, can I buy it with this dollar bill? Okay, all right. So if I go to the store and there's something for 85 cents and after tax, it ends up being 96 cents, can I buy it with this dollar bill? Okay, all right. So what if I ball the dollar bill up? Think about it now. Like I just balled the dollar bill up, like so it can't be worth a dollar now. It's probably worth like 95 cents, right? How much you think it's worth? A dollar. Listen, y'all gotta pay attention. I just balled it up, so clearly it's not worth a dollar anymore. All right. So maybe, what if I step on it? What if I stomp it? I just stomped it. How much is it worth now? Maybe 65 cents, 68 cents. It's still worth a dollar? Okay, what if I ball it up? What if I stomp on it and then I put it in the trash can and it's in here with some trash and it's around some beer and some gum and a bunch of other nasty stuff and some guy off the street pulls the dollar out, unfolds it. How much is it worth now? Maybe 82 cents? And come on, at least 92 cents? It's okay, all right, so what if I ball it up? What if I step on it? What if I put it in trash and then, watch this, I tear it in half? Think about it now, right? How much is it worth now? A dollar? I could tape it? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait. Wait a second. Wait a second. I just balled it up. I just stepped on it. I put it in trash. I pulled it out. Then I tore it in half. And you mean to tell me I could pick the dollar up, I could wipe it off, and I could put some tape around it, and it's still worth a dollar? Then why, if this dollar doesn't lose its worth or its value, then why do you feel like you've lost your worth and value? Because many of you feel like you've been stepped on, you feel like you've been pushed aside, you feel like you've been abandoned, you feel like you've been talked about, you feel like you've been abused, like someone took from you, someone hurt you, somebody took advantage of you, and deep down inside your core, you feel like you've lost some of your value. And I am here to tell you today that this dollar still has worth and value because there are some men years ago who put value over this life and said that no matter what happens to it, it can still be taped back together. It can still be wiped off. And I am here to tell you that you were created and you're born and you're here and you have life and you have purpose and you have value. And though you've gone through some hard times and though you've experienced some depression and you might be wanting to hurt yourself and you might want to give up, I am here to tell you you still got worth and value. And there is nothing that can happen that can take your worth and your value away. So what you got to do now, you got to pick yourself up. You got to dust yourself off and you got to keep moving.
Well, isn't that a powerful message? Powerful message. And imagine 2 a.m. at night, someone's in their little tent or in their sleeping bag thinking about, I have nothing to offer. Life is meaningless. And they happen to scan on this and listen to that. That's the kind of messaging, affirming message we want to get out there through a QR code. And not only just from a QR code, it's designed really for any of us to have this on hand. And when they see someone in front of you, you approach them and recognize, hey, you do have value. And just recognizing that they're there and give them what we call a moment of nourishment. Between you and them. One of the things that early on I look at this issue is like, it's such a huge issue. What can I ever do to make a dent? People are spending billions and billions and billions, years and years and years, and the problem never seems to be resolved in a meaningful way. But I realize that if we break the problem down, like any problem solving down to manageable pieces, you can make an impact. And that management piece is being able to make a difference for the person that's in front of you, making a difference for the person that's in front of you. When you see that person in the street corner, off ramp, the person in front of you, when you share a moment of kindness, you're making a difference to homelessness. So next gentleman, we met in encampment. and let me share his view on power of nutrition.
Ray, how important is good nutrition to you?
It's very important, especially out here.
Why is
It's
that?
it's good for the people to get the right stuff instead of old, outdated things.
Yeah.
It's a lot healthier.
Hard that he grabbed. You know that that's healthy.
Oh, because I've already eaten them, all of them.
You like the fact that it has 20 vitamins and minerals?
That's right. Yes, sir, I do.
You notice that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, great, fantastic.
Oh yeah.
So all the folks around here really think nutrition is important.
Very important. If you're eating junk food all the time, you come off dope,
Yeah.
and then you're eating sweets all the time. It's like the same thing. You got to eat nutritious. You know what I mean? You gotta
Yeah.
eat healthy.
Yeah.
Get your body healthy.
Oh, good. That's fantastic.
You know, and doing this encampment, one of the things I realized that there's an individual that were saying,
Ray, how important is good nutrition?
Let me
One of
speak
the
to the
most
person that
very
feels like they
especially-
lost their birthday value.
one of the most important thing I want to do is to save my teeth, right? Without it, I know I can't function. I got to save my teeth. So I'm looking for a good nutritious choice, but unfortunately that's not too much around. So that's why, again, that's why we designed it. So it's packed with 20 vitamins and minerals and so on. So just an example, this unhoused individual was on weeks, several weeks just eating corn chips. That's what's available. And he developed a niacin deficiency called pellagra. And you can see, usually one of the things, symptoms of the 3 Ds to niacin deficiency. And for an unhoused individual, it's awful because one is, diarrhea. Well, diarrhea. The next one is dementia. The next one is dermatitis. Itchy, scaly skin all over, scratching yourself, constantly itchy. And then the next same person within weeks of getting on a nutrition regimen. So the power of nutrition and people have done studies for every dollar of spent on nutrition, there's $16 return across health and productivity. So the investment is a no-brainer. Next slide. So how does the Thess bar, there's a lot of granola bar giving out to the in-house, so why Thess bar? Well, typical granola, you can see calorie rise is not as much as Thess bar, only 1 gram of protein compared to 12. Carbs, not as much as Thess bar. I know these days, high protein, low carbs, great for optimized nutrition to shape your body, a certain way. But when it comes to basic nutrition, carbs are important for energy. So, up to only 6% of the daily value, and there's no immunity. And a lot of times the granola got nuts, right? Got nuts, like a kind bar. And the homeless can't eat it because they don't have any, a lot of them don't have any, good dental. So that doesn't really work because it's basically empty calories. Leading protein bars, yeah, you're great. You have protein, but it's really a lot of them are not really fortified with anything meaningful vitamin level, and a lot of them are chocolate coated or some coating, and in the summertime it melts. And if someone carries in a backpack and they open up, it's a mess. So Thess bar is designed to be soft. You tasted it; it tastes pretty good, right? In my opinion, it doesn't melt. And we did actually a 2-week study with Salvation Army with their shelter, and we gave a Thess bar to their resident once a day for 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks, we saw significant improvement in well-being in the form of much better energy. They go to work without really feeling that hunger pain. They could last through the afternoon with it. They slept better, felt more rested, and they had mental clarity after 2 weeks. So I think that's it. Yeah.
The name, where did you come up with the name Thess?
Oh, great question. Coming from consumer packaged goods, the name, I looked at all kinds of name, and a lot of them dealing with vitamins and nutrition and energy is all taken, it's all trademarked. And we look for something that's trademarkable. But one thing that inspired me is a verse in the Bible that talks about renewing mind, body, and spirit. holistically. And it comes from 1 Thessalonians 5:23, where it talks about the Lord, designed for us to be holistically nourished mind, body, and spirit. And that's, we adopted the word "thes."
And my last question is it commercially available in like a Whole Foods or
Yeah, great
Airwall or
question.
something?
We are purposely designed it as a nonprofit to stay focused on being a social impact organization. Because the minute you go on consumer packaged goods, it's all about profitability. You go to Walmart, Costco, they beat you down on price, and we have to trim everything back to meet all that. So we want to be able to provide the best to those who have the least. So we're purposely created as a nonprofit so that we get donations. One of the ways that you can help us, you could purchase online, and we mail a case to you so that you can do your own ministry, serving the poor.
I know
So,
in my family, so we have got 3 cars between my kids and my family, right? Every driver's side has 2 bars in the side door
yeah,
that whenever you're engaged with someone at a street light, we don't turn away. You look at them, you acknowledge them, and you offer them what you can. And I said, and one of the things you can do is offer them a candy bar. We've never had anybody reject it because it's in a nice package. It feels like it's a quality product.
yeah,
And no one's ever declined it. And well, my kids have said that it actually empowers them to be able to, well, my daughter, it empowers them to engage in a positive way where it's not uncomfortable and they're not going to, they don't have to feel like they need to do more. They did what they can in the moment they have, and they didn't turn their heads away. So
yeah.
I love putting those in the doors. All my cars, when they're at the house, I go through and make sure that they're in that side door. And we want everybody today to be able to do that. So, we have a partnership with YWAM, and for Jones here, he's done a great job in terms of making us aware of what that Sparta is, and I wanted him to bring enough that we could buy some small to take him home, a small amount, and if he can't do transactions, but amazingly, YWAM will take money. Isn't that crazy? So YWAM will take the money, and that little barcode can help register that. We'll provide you with a few of the bars that are out there. But if you do want to buy more, because YWAM does have a pallet, and again, for the fires down in Southern California, you've raised 2, 3, 4 pallets, and
Yeah, it's amazing. A lot of business organization has sponsored pallets as well as churches. So we're hoping that we will be able to get at least 11 pallets down there.
yeah, and
Or-
Convoy is going to move them
Yep.
from your site. So Convoy of Hope, we have
Amazing partnership.
33 semis full of food going down there. But for the first responders, they get tired, and we don't have anything close enough to the instance they get breaks. And this is a great way to pack
Yeah.
them up with resources so they can stay engaged in the events and not feel like they have to back off. So that and the families themselves, we have hundreds, thousands of individuals that, 3 or 4 weeks ago, they were living very, very pretty large, and they're
Yeah.
suddenly find themselves unhoused. They're in that category of unhoused
Yep.
individuals.
Yep.
A lot of them didn't have plan B. And so there's a lot of struggling issues going on down there. And there's a lot of resources going down there to help people rebuild. But your bar has been really helpful, both in the urgency of the fires as well as in the families that are struggling, around the clock to kind of feed hungry kids to take care of themselves out there. So thank you for doing the donations of pallets. It's amazing out there. We're going to open up for questions here. We're going to bring Kent back up here too, because we want to be able to talk about food scarcity and ask more questions. So if you have interest in, so I know microphones are over here. So if you have interest in donating today, we can donate here. In fact, I'm going to be the first one because I have taken more Thess bars than I should have ever. Actually, I have not taken more Thess bars. There is someone in the room that has taken way more Thess bars than I ever have. Okay. Every time I put a Thess bar out, Ted hasn't disappeared. So I know where all my Thess bars disappeared to.
Yeah, we have one for you when you leave. Make sure you pick one up.
All right. So we got questions out here.
So mine's more of an affirmation than a question. I just wanted to let you know I join TL Connect every month. They go into the SROs in the Tenderloin. And there's a gentleman who I met and he told me Thespar is his favorite meal, and that
Really?
yeah, he goes into all of the liquor stores trying to find them, and he's always upset because he can't reach them. And so we make sure to bring him one every time. So I wanted you to know.
We should get them into the liquor stores and it's,
Co-brand with John Day,
yeah,
Jack Daniel.
So I have an affirmation and a real question as well. So I've known Jones for, I think, right after you started this project. Jones has been on my radio shows talking about this project. We've done events together. I have events, community events where KPIX hears a bunch of stories and they pick Jones to be featured on television, doing a segment with what he's doing with the unhoused. And so Jones doesn't talk about this, but I want to make sure that everyone's aware. Like he could have done anything in food science. He's done it all, and I won't give his whole resume, but his reverse order, his final two jobs, and he's going to be humble about this, like literally head of R&D for Power Bar, and before that, similar role with Nature Made supplements. So if you think about, and he was laid off, right, which sucks. You think about the forces, whatever your faith background is. I believe in the God of the universe, or whether you believe in the universe itself. How could you have one individual who has all the skill sets to actually make a nutrition bar and then picks a nonprofit because he knows that the costs in consumers would drive him down and take that nutrition out? So I just want to make that clear. It's not something that is taken lightly and something that people go through every day as they think about reskilling what their careers or upskilling. He has all the skills and he chose to dedicate the rest of his career into that. So give props to Jones, right?
Thank you, Chief.
Yeah, take a moment, bask in it. I wanted people to know Jones because it's not like you
thank you.
just suddenly decided.
So
I'm humbled.
now, Kent, so I wanted to kind of bring
Oh no,
up.
but the question, I'm sorry, it wasn't just, yeah, the question for Jones is, and I haven't been that close to it, when can we buy like the smaller pack, not the pallet? I know there's YWAM, but is there a direct to,
Oh, it's amazing. We're right now within weeks away of creating a compassion starter kit with 12 count. So we'll let you guys know. So yeah, we get a lot of requests like, yeah, so we're doing a 12 count and for the Web3 guys with this QR code, I think one part is helping people connect to organizations that could speak back into their lives. So anyone that has any idea from a technology standpoint, how we can do that better, yeah, connect with me.
So and Jones is amazing because he's everywhere. So the NBA All-Star Game is coming to the Bay Area, and we have 50 single moms who are struggling in life, and we have a resource center after the benefit breakfast that they're invited to with the other folks in the community. And I noticed in the gift packages going home that there's a Thespar in there. It's like that's amazing that you get everything everywhere all at the same time. You've really made yourself available and really extended yourself out there to other folks. I know that I walked with Kent one time and I asked people why they like the Thespar. And the guy looked up at me and he said, it's the only thing that comes out here that doesn't melt in the summer and I can still eat it with no teeth. And we had 3 or 4 options for people and they were only taking the Thespar. And they just said the other 2 we can't eat because we have no teeth. And that was something I didn't even realize before that. I was like, wow, I thought we were doing great passing out this other stuff. And that was informed. So Ken, I mean, tell us a little bit about some of the street stories on the Tenderloin when you're passing out Thespar.
Yeah, I think like you shared, it's a product designed for our unhoused neighbors, and there's not a lot of that out there. And I think that is also something that means a lot to people when you share that with them as you're going out and handing out desk bars. And like I said, food is a great way to make connections. And I can't tell you how many great connections I've made by handing out desk bars in the Tenderloin. We hand them out in the Ellis room every day. We hand them out in the SROs when we're doing our TL Connect outreach. And I think also a great conversation starter. Like sometimes I'll just sit with someone as I'm handing out desk bars and we'll open the QR code together. And then we'll talk about the message of hope there. So has just been such a great tool. And also Jones, Probably won't talk about this either, but they have been, Thespar Jones personally, have been so generous with their product. Like we are never wanting for Thespars in the Tenderloin at YWAM because of the generosity of Jones and his partners. So it's a real blessing.
Well, man, you guys, I want to talk about Ken because he is a warrior in the Tenderloin. I mean, his heart is so huge. His relentless energy to give to, I mean, I heard this, I was talking to him one day. It's like, yesterday this guy barged in. I had to fight him off, trying to get in the Ellis room and protect all the people here. And I got hurt my back. And, next day he's doing all this stuff. So, I mean, Ken is such a warrior because he got such a big heart for those that are marginalized, for those that people don't ever notice, but he noticed them. And, that's a kind of partner Thespar wants to align with, people with heart.
Kent does know everybody in name. You're awesome. I don't know if you noticed your picture up there, but there is a potential for a new career.
That's like,
Yeah,
I didn't even know that
it's out
picture
there.
existed.
I think this was at the Giants game. No, I'm kidding.
I need a haircut.
Any other questions over here?
So a quick comment and then a question. And the first comment was you opened my mind to what food scarcity means. It's more nourishment scarcity. And that kind of follows on to a comment you made, Kent, that you can find 7 meals in the Tenderloin each day, because I've been in the Tenderloin before and I've seen just this overabundance of quote unquote food. But it's really less a food scarcity problem and a love scarcity or dignity scarcity problem. So it's just kind of like hit me home that, we can always provide stuff that, in theory is helping a problem, but we're not really helping the problem if it's without human dignity and respect and love. So I think it's just reminded me that that's how we always need to be thinking. So my question is, what's your observation and how many Thespars should people consume in what frequency over time to have a positive impact on their health? Is it a Thespar a day keeps the doctor away? Is it a 3 Thespars a week? Is it versus a Thespar here and a Thespar there?
That's a great question for many of you. That within days, if you don't have your water soluble vitamins like the B complex, vitamin C, you could be suboptimal. And once you have it, you easily replenish yourself. So that's why we did a study with Salvation Army with their unhoused individual living in a shelter. We gave them 1 Thespar one day for 2 weeks, and we saw a significant difference in wellness measures of mental clarity. They're able to sleep and feel more rested and a lot more energy, and they could go to work because a lot of these folks, they get a little small breakfast and then they go off to work and they come back at night to the shelter and they're on their own. And the folks that had the Thespar, they ate it for lunch, and many of them said it carried me through until we got back, and I got all kinds of energy doing it. So yeah. So 1 Thespar for a couple of weeks could make a huge difference.
So the answer is a Thespar a day. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, so the answer is a Thespar a day.
Yeah, Thespar a
Great.
day.
Did you publish that study?
No, I mean, I don't have the funds to do a clinical. It's more of a survey.
Yeah, but you can publish the survey and just don't claim it's clinical.
Yeah.
I'd encourage you to do that.
Yeah, okay.
Anyways, yeah, that's super awesome. And it looks like, I mean, I just had a new idea that like we should implement this and go to different shelters and say, supplement your food with a Thespar a day. They'll eat it, so you don't have to fight over them trying to take vitamins. They'll love it, and you'll see results in 2 weeks.
Ted, you bring up a very important point that, that I discovered that I spoke to many shelters, and they this is what we've been looking for, something nutritious that we can give. Would you buy some Fest Bar? No, we don't have the budget for it because we get everything donated. So we don't have the means to do it, but we love it. And that's the dilemma is that food are giving out and many of the shelters love to have more nutritious options, but they get what they get. And a lot of it is ultra processed, empty calories. And one little thing is that when someone is suboptimal in vitamins and you give them sugar, carbs, all the vitamins are then we deploy just to convert carbs into energy, and it depletes more of what the brain needs, what they need for immunity. It sucks to really convert empty calories into calories. So that's why, yeah. So we're figuring ways to get sponsorship so that we can get bars into great organizations like Kent's. Yeah.
Would it be possible to get your bars to other countries experiencing food insecurity if there are funds available?
Yeah, let me cast a grand vision for you. Anytime you ship here to there, the regulatory, the tariff, the custom, huge cost and time. Our model is that we want to find a partner that would replicate Thesbar in a third world country, funded by, business people there, for the purpose of social impact, and then enable them and transfer our technology, allow them to build their own marketplace product that would meet their consumer need, because taste, here is very different than there. So having a place to transfer that technology is what we're envisioning in the future.
One more?
Yeah, and if you did that, I'm setting up a local supply chain for all the ingredients also. You got taste, obviously, but you also have to be able to do that. Yeah, food insecurity has to be when you're building a complete thing. And so certainly Kent knows this, if he's going to make barbecue and can't get the pork, so you have to be able to have those supplies so that once you get people involved with taking the product, that they're able to get it repeatedly.
So that's exactly what we did. When I was with Crazy Love Ministry, I know there's a few of them here. They were kind enough, Francis Chan allowed me to have his kitchen as my test kitchen, and I was playing on a prototype of this protein rice meal. It so happened that NGO in Afghanistan connected with a founder of an NGO that had boots on the ground in Afghanistan. And what we did was we transferred the formula over there, and they find out the ingredients. They adjusted the taste to fit their cultural needs, and they produced it. So we produced 30 metric tons in Afghanistan with people on the ground for Afghanistan. And Kent and back it's saying, and we're part of the taste group that tastes that product. So great to see you.
All right. Well, you guys, any more questions? We're going to be up here answering questions. So we'll have Love Never Fails. We'll have Noah for his next Bret Hart School event. We don't have a DAO meeting today, but today we do have a meeting about how to DAO. It's a book launch, and we had heard from Pankar. That's going to be an instrumental way that we kind of work together as DAOs or in the concepts of DAOs to get Thesbars out to a place like YWAM. But today, if you want to support YWAM, we are going to take small donations. The barcode works. Kent is amazing. Just whipped it up. He's amazing how fast he can accept revenue and stuff. And if you'd like to support out there, and if we can take you to the Thesbar site, we'll work with Jones to get those cases over to YWAM to make sure they're never short out on the Tenderloin. But again, wanted to thank you, Nicole.